That's better.
Yo, what's poppin'? I just pulled up to the lake. I got my kayak all rigged and ready, and wouldn't you know that the day that I get to go kayak fishing, it's raining, it's cold, and it's windy. That being said, I'm not gonna let it stop me. I am super stoked to catch some fish, man. I am ready to have a good day of fishing. As I mentioned in my last video, it's just been hard to get out there and catch a lot lately, so today's the day. Today is the day. Because my luck has been somewhat challenging, I'm gonna start today off by eating a fortune cookie. This fortune cookie is kind of smashed because I dropped it on the ground. I'm of the belief that the fortune doesn't come true unless you eat the cookie first without looking at the fortune until after. I have no idea if that's the right way or not, but that's what I'm gonna do. You know what? Fortune cookie actually goes pretty good with coffee. You will be awarded some great honor. Well, I don't know if that's gonna make the fishing good or bad, but I tell you what, I'll take it. It's not raining too much yet, but I have a feeling I might get caught in the rain for a little while, but it's supposed to clear up at some point today. The problem is the wind's gonna be a factor all day, but I did pick a lake that is somewhat protected from the wind, so hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Anyways, let's get on the water. Okay, so I got out here first thing in the morning, so I honestly don't expect the fishing to get good anytime soon. I'm just gonna try to cover water with a lipless crankbait and see what happens. Just starting with a traditional lipless crankbait right here. This one's like a old Lucky Craft I have. It's a nice kind of like an orange bronze type color. Kind of a unique color, but I've had some good success with it. Oh, there's one. Nice. Right by the kayak. Not a bad little fish. All right. Honestly, that didn't take very long. Try not to get a hook in my hand. All right. Lipless crankbait. That did not take very long at all. Something I actually want to do today is fish a normal traditional lipless crankbait for bass, and then I want to fish this ultralight lipless crankbait I have as well. Nice little chunk. He came out of nowhere and smoked it about 10 feet from me. That's what's up. Okay. Also, I am still kind of out of it because I haven't got down hardly any of my coffee. These dang Yeti cups keep your coffee so hot so long, sometimes it's hard to drink it. Let me show you what I was thinking for today. So I've got this lipless crankbait right here, and I've got some other ones that are full size. This is just like a traditional bass lipless crankbait. But what I also have rigged up is this little fella right here. Look at this little dinky ultralight lipless crankbait I have. It's one of the Rapala ultralight rip and wraps. It's the size 3. The thing's really, really small, but I feel like I can catch, you know, bluegill, crappie, yellow perch, but then obviously some bass with it as well. So I'm definitely gonna give this a rip here in a few minutes. And really the goal is, I just wanna see, does a micro lipless crankbait work as well as a big lipless crankbait? You know, the good news about this weather being kind of crappy is my coffee tastes that much better. A nice warm coffee when it's cold and wet outside, man, it tastes great. I'm kind of thinking I got to go ahead and try the ultralight rip and wrap. This is actually an idea I've had for a little while. A series where I do a traditional bass fishing lure and then an ultralight fishing lure of the same variety. So in this case, obviously it's a lipless crankbait, but what I could do in the future is more videos like this where I'm kind of comparing them and fishing them side by side to see which one catches more fish and bigger fish. So I was kind of thinking this would be fun to do with like jerk baits, spinner baits, buzz baits, you know, drop shots, like every traditional bass fishing lure. I thought it'd be fun to do like traditional versus ultralight. So let me know if that's a concept you guys like, because I was definitely thinking that would be a fun one to start doing. I need to get my coffee. There's a fish. Oh, first fish is a crappie. First fish is a crappie. I was getting ready to say I need to get my coffee down because I'm still feeling tired. But I tell you what, that'll wake you up in the morning, a little bit of a slab action. That was not what I expected. I definitely thought that a crappie was possible, but I don't feel like I catch a ton of crappie in this lake, so I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised. Pretty small crappie, but I'll take it. 2 fish in, man. All right, still pretty early in the morning. I'm feeling good. I am feeling good. I think that calls for a swig of coffee. What do you say? So yummy. There's a fish. What's this gonna be? A little dinky bass. Well, okay. Dinky crappie, dinky bass. The little ultralight rip and wrap works. It hasn't shown that it works for anything big, but I tell you what, 2 fish, I'll take it. Okay, I'm enjoying this. I'm excited about this video concept. I'm gonna do this, I'm definitely gonna do this with other lures. Traditional versus ultralight lipless crankbait. Which works better? So far, the diagnosis is that the traditional catches bigger fish and it catches bass, but the ultralight, as expected, catches multiple species and it catches dinks. Oh, baby. That looks like a dinky bass. Oh, no, 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 no. It's another slab. Just another dinky slab, but it's a slab. About the same size as the first one. I killed it and then I went to twitch it and he was just on it. Right above the weed line, man. They're just kind of probably roaming around looking for some snacks. Beautiful fish, beautiful fish. Okay, okay. As far as how I like to typically work a lipless crankbait, as you can see, I'm just kind of pulsing my rod up and down. That's just usually how I like to do it, but you can always just do a steady wind if you want. And then when you do tick grass, you just give it a quick rip. But for me personally, I tend to pretty much yo-yo it at all times. Like just a quick little pulse, reel down my slack, quick little pulse, reel down my slack. I just find that a lot of my bites come after I pulse it up and then kill it. I just keep moving it, man. What's nice about these lipless crankbaits is, unlike a lot of spring techniques, this allows you to cover a lot of water. When you think about something like a jerkbait or a Ned rig, that fish gets to see it for long periods of time. Well, a lot of times that's actually what makes them bite. But when it comes to a lipless crankbait, it's whizzing by their face so fast, they don't have time to think about it. They just either eat it or they don't. No way. What? I thought I had vegetation on there. There's no way that that fish hit it intentionally. Oh, there's a fish. He hit it when I ripped it up. He's running right at me. I wonder if it's a pike. It is. Hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy. Whenever they run right at me, I always get a little nervous they're gonna be a pike. He's got them little dots all over him, that little parasite. It's just a little dinky one, but I tell you what, it's fish. I'll take it. See, buddy. We've actually caught 3 species on the full-size lipless crankbait. Now, the bluegill is kind of BS, but I tell you what, it technically counts. There's a fish. Is this gonna be a bass? I'm thinking this will be a bass. What is it? Oh, he got foul hooked. Obviously this bass probably swiped at it. Got hooked in the tummy. All right, buddy, hey, chill. It's okay, that'll happen. You know, you don't ever really wanna hook them like that, but it's kinda out of your control. No damage done. Nice bass. I don't really feel super great about it because it's not like I really hooked him properly, but I'll take it. That's better. Come on. Feels good, but he's also a mile away. Can't tell. I saw him somewhat surface. Cannot tell. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Let's use the net. Ugh, okay. Can I have my hook back, sir? Thank you. Nothing big by any means, just a chunk. Nice pre-spawned fatty. All right, well, lipless is paying off, baby. Let's go. I love me a good lipless bite. It is fun. You kind of rip it up, and then when you go to rip again, there's just a big old heavy fat pre-spawn bass on there. It's a nice feeling, I'll guarantee you that. Well, how about that? 2 in a row. I think part of the reason they like this color is because that orange kind of resembles a bluegill in a way. You know, a fire red is an extremely popular color, and I'm a big fan of it as well, but it feels like everybody and their brother throws fire red. So I thought that changing it up and throwing something a little bit more orange bronze might, you know, might buy me a few bites that other people don't get. What do we got here? What do we got here? He's running towards me. Ah, it's so weird to reel left-handed. It's gotta be a panfish. Oh yeah. First decent gill of the day on this thing. Not bad. There you have it. Okay, well, how many species have we caught on this thing now? Largemouth, crappie, and bluegill. I don't think anything else. Oh, you are kidding me. How many times is this gonna happen today? What the heck? I'm sorry, little fella.
Okay, quick update. I tell you what, I am having a blast out here. I'm honestly catching way more fish than I would have expected. I don't know why the ducks are so loud today, but they are quacking up a storm. Regardless, I wanted to take a quick second to talk about how I choose colors for lipless crankbaits. Now today we've obviously got low light conditions. The clouds are just completely covering it up. So what I like to do in situations like this is painted colors. Just like any other hard bait, you can absolutely mimic your local forage. So you can do shad colors and stuff like that. But for me, I'm doing an orange one because it seems like in the spring, a lot of those craw colors can really shine. I traditionally like a nice bright red, but I really like this orange. I've been doing some experimenting with it and it's paying off. But again, when there's low light conditions in the spring, a fire red can be absolutely money too. Now when the sun is shining, I like to use more of the chromes and maybe some of the translucents that are a little bit more natural. But specifically, I really like chrome blueback and then this chrome sexy shad from Strike King. Both of these are absolutely epic colors. Ultimately, I feel like you only really need to own a couple colors of lipless crankbait. I think the 2 that I would absolutely suggest to pretty much everyone is a fire red and a chrome blue back. I think between those 2 colors right there, you can catch fish pretty much in any condition. There he is, I think.
What do I have? That would be fishing line. Oh my gosh. Look at all this freaking line. Well, that stinks. Literally. I'm gonna smell like that the rest of the day. Ugh. There's a fish. There's a fish. What do we got here? It's another gill. Man, he like swiped at this thing. He got hooked really funny on the side of the gill plate. Man, what's with me and snagging bluegill today? Bluegill are very curious fish, so it doesn't surprise me that I'm snagging them. They're probably just coming up and investigating it, and then I rip it. I just rip it straight into their side. So when it comes to bass fishing with lipless crankbaits, I've got some suggestions around what gear you should use. First and foremost, when it comes to line, I personally like to use straight fluorocarbon, but you can probably get away with straight braid if you really prefer to. I would definitely avoid monofilament because that is too much stretch for a bait like this. You would never be able to get a good hook set. Now the rod that I'm using today is actually a 6'10" medium heavy fast action, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I would say generally speaking, I would probably recommend a little bit more length than that, probably 7 to 7'3", and the only reason is because a lot of times you're fishing around vegetation and you want a little bit of leverage to be able to pull that free. The 6'10's fine, it's just that when I make a really long cast, it's gonna give me a little bit less leverage to bury the hooks. And then when it comes to reel speed, I would just say anything 6.3 to 1, or if you want, you can go with a higher speed, 7.1 to 1. The reason that I like a 6.3 to 1 is it forces me to slow down just a little bit. If I was using a 7 or 8 to 1 reel, I would probably end up burning this thing too fast and I would probably draw less strikes. But if you have the discipline to slow yourself down, I think you're totally fine using a high-speed reel because that'll allow you to catch up with fish that are running towards you. That's a fish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was a long ways out there, and that's where I buried my hooks on him, I feel like. I probably got a pretty good hook in him, but, you know, a longer rod would have probably made that even better. That looks like that might be a pike. That looks like that is a pike. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He's got a mouthful of lipless. Oh, boy. Look at how he ate. Oh, my gosh. Can I have my lipless back, buddy? Don't you worry. Oh, my gosh. You're okay. You're okay. I just want this back. Can I have this back? Thank you, thank you. Now I'm gonna set you free. Don't you worry, little homie. I'm gonna set you free. All right, not a bad little pike. Beautiful little fish. All right, bud. Well, that was fun. Well, I'm gonna keep casting here, might as well. I'm out of the wind. Who knows, maybe we'll get another bonus pike. I honestly think that if I had a ultralight lipless that was in a painted variety, I probably would. Oh my gosh, that's gotta be another pike. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. He's running right at me. This is fighting like a pike. The way he like shook his head did not feel very bassy to me. That's a pretty good pike. Oh my gosh. Looky there. 2 casts in a row. That's one of the bigger ones I've caught in a while. Ugh. If I could just turn his head towards me, that would be wonderful. Get in there. Ugh. This pike's a little bit big for my net, actually. There we go. Apparently these pike like this spot. My goodness. 2 casts in a row, and that one's pretty darn big. If you live in the north, you are gonna have to swap out treble hooks on your hard baits from time to time. These pike will do some serious damage to your hooks. It's a nice, healthy fish, man. Look at that beaut. Just a beauty. He's not like huge. Very healthy though. He's probably doing some damage to those perch population in here. I love it. Honestly, there's way too many small bluegills and perch, so it's honestly good that there's pike in here. Okay, I don't think I bent the hook. These hooks seem like they're pretty quality. Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, them pike are kind of fun. I didn't expect to catch very many pike today. I knew it was a possibility, but man, I kind of forgot how fun those fish are. Might as well keep casting right here. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into a bass, or maybe we'll get some more slime pickles. Let's get back to it.
There's another one. I don't know if this is gonna be a pike or a bass. I don't know if this is gonna be a pike or a bass. I'm gonna guess pike just because it bit in the same spots as the last two, but it feels more like a bass to me, but we're gonna find out shortly. That's a bass. That's a good bass, actually, and he choked it. Oh my gosh, guys, the way he ate this lipless. The way he ate this lipless. I better net this fish. Oh my gosh. I have become a huge fan of this lipless crankbait. You know what's funny? He's got like a bluegill or something down his throat. We'll see if we can pull it out. Look at that. This has quickly become one of my favorite colors. It's just like that nice bronzish type color. Yeah, he just swallowed whatever he was eating. All right, I'm sorry I took your meal from you, buddy. Look at that. I don't know what that is. Could it be a perch? I'm not sure, but he's pretty well digested that thing halfway. Oh, he's bleeding a little bit. I'm gonna let him loose. Oh my gosh, a pike tried to come get it. I don't know if you saw that with the camera, but he came out of nowhere and just swerved at it. It looked like actually a pretty solid pike, I'm not gonna lie. Even though this thing's getting absolutely smoked, I am gonna go ahead and try the blade bait. I've been wanting to put this thing to use, so I gotta at least give it a quick shot. Oh my gosh, something's getting chased in the shallows. What the heck? Of course I've got like a tangle in my braid right now. Lipless. Something literally is corralling bait fish up shallow. I think it's already done, unfortunately, but if he's still around, hopefully he'll eat this. That happened so fast. All of a sudden, I just saw a bunch of splashes and I saw bluegill trying to swim away. Now we know. Now we know. There he was. Oh my gosh, he's still on it. Oh my gosh, that was a bass. Man, this is interesting, very interesting. Even in the less than ideal conditions, these fish still just want to get fat, man, so they're willing to feed up aggressively. The tangle has been taken care of. This right here is an Ultra Finesse rig I've shown you in a previous video or two. This is a 1/64 ounce mule jig with a Yamamoto 4-inch cut tail worm, and we're just gonna dead stick this through here. If the bass is not actively chasing right now, but he's just hanging back and waiting for his opportunity to strike, if I drift this in front of his noggin, he might just suck it up. I guarantee he's still around. There he is. I knew it. I knew my technique would work, man. That bass waits for his opportunity to strike. Then he probably hangs back and chills on the grass edge. Here we go. On the Ultra Finesse rig. I gotta give a quick shout out to my guy Mark. He, out there in California, he taught me about this rig. It's the 1/64 ounce mule jig, and you put a little Yamamoto cut tail worm on there. It's a really funny looking rig for bass, but it works. I mean, that's a beautiful pre-spawn fish right there. I guarantee you that was one of the bass that was pushing those bluegill up shallow. They don't just keep chasing at all times. They chase for a quick little opportunity and then they hang back on that weed edge. That was my theory, and I was right. Little tiny worm, chunky pre-spawn fatty. All right, see you, buddy. Go on now. Let's see if there's another one in there. I'm gonna go ahead and toss this because I guarantee you these bass work together and corral those bait fish as a group. There he is. He picked it up and was carrying it. I didn't even feel the bite. He's gonna get in my drive system if I'm not careful. This is actually, feels like this could be a quite large fish. Oh my gosh, it's a pike. Oh my gosh, it's a pike. And it's not a small one. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh Lord. 1/64 ounce jig in the corner of this giant pike's face. Are you kidding me? My best pike of the day came on this little dinky rig. I cannot believe he didn't snap my line. Look at that mule jig sitting there in the corner of his mouth. Are you kidding me? Why do they do this? Why? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Oh yeah, he just torqued my freaking, he destroyed my setup. Okay, well, he's all wrapped in my line now too. Okay, well, nice big healthy pike, beautiful fish. And he gets to go home now. He torched my jig, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he just kept rolling and rolling and it was in the corner of his mouth. I'm just gonna bend it back in place and see if I can keep catching fish on it because I do not feel like retying. This hook probably needs to be retired, to tell you the truth. Hey, it looks great. I mean, I'm sure that the hook is obviously weaker now, but we got it bent back into place and hopefully I'll be able to catch another fish on it. Okay, how about the bonus bait of the day? This little cut tail worm with the 1/64, man. This thing's sweet. I'm super stoked to continue using this little rig right here throughout the course of the year. That being said, I am gonna go back to the Ultralight Rip and Wrap because I wanna catch another fish on that thing. I haven't caught a fish on it in a while and I'm ready to put that thing to action. Anyways, I'm feeling really good right now, man. I was tired earlier, but I've got down all my coffee and also I've caught a lot of fish, which has really energized me, man. I've needed a day like this. And even though it's cold and windy and dreary and it's really just not the optimal conditions, the fish are eating and I'm stoked. I don't know about you, but I think early spring is like my favorite time to fish. I really think it is. At some point during every season, I'm probably gonna say that it's my favorite time to fish, but I really genuinely think early spring is the best. I'm rambling for no reason. Let's get back to using that little Ultralight Rip and Wrap and let's see what happens. Let's go. There's one. All right. Oh, yellow perch. Okay, another species. The only species I'm surprised we haven't caught is really just a pumpkin seed. Little chunky guy. Oh, it's girl. Look at all the eggs. All right. Go back, go lay your eggs. One more fish and I'm calling it quits. There's one. Yes. I just wanted the one more fish and here we've got it. Another yellow perch. All right. Little dinky perch, but I'll take it. I think that's gonna be a wrap. And we're back in the car. I gotta be honest with you, today was a total blast. Despite the fact that it was windy, it was cold, it was rainy, I still caught a lot of fish and I'm stoked about that. Also, I know a lot of you have asked me to show how I get the kayak on and off my roof, and I plan to do that. I was gonna do it today, but it's so cold that I was just like, I don't feel like it. So just stay tuned for the next warm day and I will definitely show that in video form. I will be honest, it's not easy, but I've figured it out and it seems to work okay for me. The other thing is, throughout today's fishing trip, I have decided on the name of the kayak. But before we get to the name of the kayak, I want to say this. I really had a lot of fun with the traditional versus ultralight concept, so stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see me do this concept with, because I'm excited to do more videos just like this one. But as far as the lipless crankbaits go, both of them caught fish. They both seem to be quite productive, but clearly today the larger lipless crankbait was the key for those larger fish. I would assume in most cases a traditional bass lure is going to catch higher quality fish, but an ultralight lure is usually going to catch you more fish. Today it's kind of funny because the traditional lure actually caught me more fish and bigger fish, so that was pretty cool. All right, so you're probably wondering what I'm naming my kayak. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I got a ton of great name suggestions, so I appreciate each and every one of those, and quite frankly, I don't care. You can honestly call it that. I'm all about this kayak having like 50 nicknames, so feel free to call it whatever you want. But what I ultimately landed on is actually one that nobody recommended, and it just kind of came to me out of the blue, and when I thought about it, I'm like, that's it. So I was listening to my homegirl Dolly Parton the other day, and one of my favorite songs came on, Jolene. So yeah, basically my kayak's new name is Jolene. I gotta honor Dolly Parton. She's a sweetheart, she's got great music, and quite frankly, that's a great song, so I gotta name my kayak Jolene. It just makes sense. Listen to the song and tell me that that name for this kayak doesn't make sense. All right, just like usual, I have been rambling far too long, so I am gonna go home. I'm gonna drink some hot cocoa because that sounds delicious, but I'm also gonna raid my fridge and I have no idea what I'm gonna find, but I'm gonna eat a lot of food. So we'll catch you next time.